time for Sports Talk here on Good Day Columbia with the Pastor Payne, Corey Miller.
You know that song, It's Been a While?
It's been a while.
It's been a while since
know.
you and I hung out on the couch.
Yeah, we hadn't talked,
I know.
talked it out. I was sick, then you got sick.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Did you give it to me or was?
It's possible.
It's all good though. we're good right now. We're good.
We are back, and the NCAA has some interesting proposals that could happen to change the game of signing.
And it's early signing, and I think, one of these things they've been talking about for such a long time, Janet, because some kids commit early, some kids want to get it done. But then I think as we read this article, some coaches in favor, some may not be in favor. But for me, let me just say it real quickly, I like the early signing period because I think, it takes some of that edge off the kid. If they really know where they want to go to school, they should be able to sign and not have the pressure of schools continuing to recruit them.
And waiting.
Yeah.
And it has to take pressure off the parents, too.
Yes.
I would imagine.
Well, going through as a parent for the last 2 years with my son, he wanted to sign early. I remember him committing to Florida. He was just like, Dad, I want to get it over with. All the phone calls from the recruiting websites, from the coaches. I just want to get over with. And he committed early at 16. Now, mind you, these are 16-year-old kids.
Yeah, because you're in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but then he signed, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm not sure. So that's the concern. If they do commit early and then
change their mind later, then what?
Are you going to be able to appeal it? Or are you going to what's going to be the problem with the situation? So that's where I stand with it, because will the kids be able to get out of the sign if they come back and say, you know what, I messed up? Coach, what if a coach leaves? I mean, how many times this year we saw coaches bolt?
That too, and that's, just reading what a lot of coaches had to say, and I think I kind of agree with Jimbo Fisher from Florida State in saying we should do it kind of like basketball and have that recruiter or somebody there that's really connected to that player and, maybe in their junior year talk to them and figure something out. But a lot of the articles I read were talking about the financial burden of it on the colleges. I'm sorry, but these kids are going to make you all the money that builds up your athletic department. They're worth those dollars. They're worth you checking in with them and coming to their games and seeing them.
Believe me, every university, they have no problem with recruiting budget. I mean, they can go out and travel. The coach can get out there and do what they need to do. I think that's a terrible excuse. Worried about money. I mean, all the money that the NCAA is making.
Seriously.
We're talking about playing these guys now. I mean, now you're talking about recruiting. It's going to be a financial burden.
Right.
I mean, no, it's about getting out there and letting these kids be a little bit more freer, I should say, in far as in their recruitment. It's a lot of pressure. I saw it with my own son. I mean, the stress. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of letters a week, phone calls, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, all this
these
stuff.
recruiters are
So
after you.
some families, may want to go ahead and move on. If you're a mother of a kid who's recruited, I mean, how do you feel about it? Because that's where the pressure also lies in the parent.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a parent, I would want to go ahead and do it only if I knew they were sure. But I want the school to be just as invested in my child as my child's invested in that school.
Yeah.
And I think they're worth it.
Well, David Shaw says a terrible idea. And he says the only reason they want to change it is because coaches don't want those kids at the last minute when they go sit in front of ESPN or wherever with those hats and they flip. And they said, I'm not going to school X.
And then everybody's shocked.
Right. And then everybody's mad and upset. So, listen, it's a tough business. They have to do something about it.
NCAA, folks, we will definitely keep our eyes on it. Early signing period. What do you think? Tweet us. Let us know. Corey's got more 5 and Out. We've got more Good Day coming up.
Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. And yes, it is that time for 5 and Out. 5 top sports stories that I came up with for today. Let's start with some golf, shall we? PGA, Tiger Woods. Last week, the WGC Cadillac 66 on Saturday, and we thought Tiger Woods was back. Focus on that word back. 78 on Sunday, Tiger Woods came up again with that stiff back, could not really get the swing going and finished with a 78. But he says, hey, I've been getting treatment. He's going to play next week down in Florida at the Bay Hill Classic. So Tiger Woods said, hey, you know what, despite the back issues, I'll be back to play a little bit of golf next week. And he says, hey, if it flares up, it just flares up, but it'd be nice to get a week off so he can rest that tight back. Let's go to the NFL this time of the year. It's free agency and guys are moving around your favorite player you want to keep with your team, and then other teams comes in and try to sign those guys. Well, we got some movement happening in the National Football League. Jonathan Martin, you remember that story down in Miami? Richard Incognito, he's been traded to the San Francisco 49ers with his old coach, Jim Harbaugh. And he says he's glad to be back with his old coach out in the Bay Area. So he is out of Miami and headed to the 49ers. What about DeMarcus Ware, the awesome pass rusher for the Dallas Cowboys? Dallas cleaning some house. See ya. Ware's out there. He's expected to sign with the Denver Broncos. Great pass rusher, been having some injuries and whatnot, but he's moving on from the Dallas Cowboys. How about the other defensive end, Julius Peppers, Chicago? He's out. Former Carolina Panther, went to Chicago, and now he is done with the Chicago Bears. And Aqib Talib, very easy name to pronounce, right? For the was with the New England Patriots. Now he is out. He's signing with the Denver Broncos, $26 million guaranteed dollars. The total package is about $57 million. All right, let's move to some college basketball. The Wofford Terriers, Mike Young, great job. 25 years in the business at Wofford. Now, this is 12 years as head basketball coach. They are punching the ticket to the NCAA. They are going dancing for the third time in 4 years. They are headed to the dance. So congratulations to Mike Young and the Wofford Terriers. Let's keep it with basketball. The players support Frank Martin. Yep, they spoke about it and said, hey, you know what? We're okay with the tough coaching and in-your-face approach. Brenton Williams and Sin 803. He said, yeah, you know, we're good with Frank Martin. We support Frank Martin. We're used to it. We're good with it. Sindari said, hey, the reason I came to South Carolina, because of Frank Martin and the coaching staff. Well, they're getting ready to play the Auburn Tigers as the SEC opens tonight, the tournament down in Atlanta, Georgia. They'll play Auburn and try to get some wins. Who knows? If they can win 5 in a row, they'll punch a ticket. But that's probably highly unlikely. And finally, last night I was out at the Ray. What a beautiful night for baseball here in the Carolinas. The Gamecocks defeating Furman 5-0. And yes, it is now time for SEC play. The Gamecocks Friday night, 7 o'clock. Ole Miss is in town. So SEC play starts for the Gamecocks baseball team. Still undefeated. They are getting it done, and they're doing it on the mound, shutting folks out. The pitching has been outstanding for the Gamecocks, plus their bats are pretty hot as well. So I know Chad Holbrook and the guys, they are looking to start some SEC play. All right, that's my 5 and Out. That's going to do it for this segment. But coming up, don't worry, more Good Day Columbia just right around the corner.